Hey guys, welcome to MyAirBags. I'm Eli, and today we have a local area customer that came in. He needed our help with this BMW M4, and what we're gonna do is there's a seatbelt that's not retracting. We're gonna remove that seatbelt along with the driver's side as well, and then we're gonna go ahead and replace not only the parts that make the seatbelt work, function again, but also we're gonna do custom color seatbelts on this car as well. Anytime we work with the airbag system, whether it's the airbags, the module, or the seat belts, you want to make sure the battery is disconnected. It is part of the airbag system. There is a pyrotechnic charge inside the seat belt itself, so anytime we're removing that, we want to go ahead and make sure we disconnect the battery. We don't want any power going into the car. The first step is right here in the back seat. We're going to want to go ahead and lift up the front and then pull out. We're going to start here with the driver's side. We want to remove these panels. One way to do it is to get right in between. Another way, you can actually pull up this liner, kind of get it out of the way. And as you're working in there, you want to look for the clips. They're gray clips. You want to get right in and pull. You'll hear them pop right off. There's two at the top and two at the bottom. And this is what they look like. Sometimes you may have to pull pretty hard. So the next piece is this top piece here. There's two clips that hold down the bottom piece here. You want to start working those first. They come right out, and then the top piece just slides right down. Here we're using our T50 Torx, and this is the first bolt you want to disconnect. The next bolt here is right underneath this cover, also a T50 Torx. Now we do have one more bolt right here, but I do prefer to take off the plug harness first. You do want to make sure the battery is disconnected at this point, and we're going to go ahead and remove this top piece. We're going to slide our flathead, small flathead underneath, and wiggle this up. Once you have that piece up, you can go ahead and start pulling up. And then the last bolt here, T50. And then pretty much the last step is to go ahead and remove these two. These are T25s. And at this point, you can clearly see the pretensioner is fully free to come out. And this is what a seatbelt pretensioner looks like in a BMW M4 2015. A lot of cars look pretty similar. You'll see that they are held down pretty much to the pillar the same way. Some cars will have an extra anchor tensioner here at the bottom side. Some will have one plug, some will have two, some three. And they're called the dual, single, or triple stage seatbelts. It just means it has multiple stages that deploy during an accident. On this one, we're gonna do a seatbelt pretensioner rebuild, and then we're also gonna change the color of this webbing to the color of the customer's choice. All right, so we just fixed the seatbelt and we did the custom color webbing on this BMW. As you can see, this customer requested a nice white with the M stripe. It's gonna look really well on his white beige seats. Well, let's go ahead and put it back in. I didn't want to mention, if you get the seatbelt back and it's not retracting as it should, it just means that you have to hold it up at its 90-degree position. It will come right out. See, if it's this way or this way, it's not going to come out. But if you hold it exactly 90 degrees, you can put it up against the wall, it'll come right out. Let's go ahead and reinstall this seatbelt. We're just going to slide it back in its original position. Then we're going to go ahead and put the wire harness back in. Next, go ahead and make sure the panel that we removed, you want to go ahead and slide the webbing right through. All right, guys, we're basically wrapping up this project. You can see these seatbelts came out really nice and beautiful. The main reason we do these seatbelt rebuilds is for after accident cars, where the car gets into an accident, the seatbelts will lock up, holding the person in place. And afterwards, you basically need to buy a brand new one from a dealership. Here at MyAirBags.com, what we can do is we can actually rebuild your seatbelts back to its original pre-collision condition, and it will function again as designed in another accident event. We also rebuild modules or reset modules. The module is like a black box for the car, and when it gets into an accident, it will store permanent collision codes. and basically you need to replace it, or so the dealership will tell you. Here at MyAirBags, we can actually reset your original airbag computer back to its original design and function, and that costs a fraction of the cost as it would if you're buying it from a dealership. At a dealership, typically most modules will cost around $600, $700, $800. Here at MyAirBags, our reset prices start at $49. They range up to $139, but even then, it's still a fraction of the cost of a brand new. So airbag modules, seatbelts, or seatbelt webbing, go to myAirbags.com.